This is just an update on my little Spitfire balsa wood model that I'm constructing at the moment. I had a small setback, probably my own fault. I just misread this part here on the fuselage. So these slots here, these large slots, they have been cut out, and they punched out quite easily. Okay, so when I assembled the fuselage, I didn't pay a lot of attention, and I just thought I used these little stringers here to actually go all the way around the fuselage. Oh no, that wasn't the case. Part A4, which is this part here, that part there runs through the middle. Okay, and that's pretty important because it's quite structural. You'll see it's quite a thick section that tapers off towards the tail section. So by the time I realised that, I'd already glued the fuselage together with two of these little stringers, and it wasn't a very easy job to dig that all out because my glue had gone off, and then replace the stringers with the A4 sections. It took me a couple of hours to do that actually, but I'm very pleased. I didn't want to ignore that. I want to do the models as faithfully as I can. This is the first time I've done one of these balsa wood models for many years, and I don't want to ruin it, so I'm trying to do a good job. So I'm very happy now that I've actually got that in place, so that allows me to go to my next step. Well, as you can see on my sections here for the fuselage, there are no notching sections. There are no notches like drawn here. I've got no notches here, so they're quite tricky to actually manufacture. I'm going to see if I can get a little tool that will punch those out. It'll make it a lot faster because I've got a lot of notching to do on the sides of the fuselage, and also on the wing ribs to run these through here like this. And you can't put it on the surface, of course. They have to be notched in place and flushed in. So it's quite a big job to cut each one with a razor blade and then sort of pull it out with a pair of needle nose pliers. Having cut myself twice so far with the razor blade. These razor blades are devilishly sharp, and you only have to just touch your skin and you've got blood. So yeah, I've had some experience with that, and then we get a bit of glue on it, it stings like mad. So yeah, having dotted myself back up again and ready to carry on. Another mistake I made is I put the stabilizer in backwards. I wasn't looking at the picture properly, and I had it around this way, which is not correct. It's got to go around this way. That's the way it goes in place. Okay, and again that has to have full construction here as well. These parts here have to be put in, then a run going through here. So I think I will have a look online and see if there is a little balsa wood notching tool. Feel free to put one in the comments if you actually know of such a tool. I'm sure there is a little tool out there that will just punch these out nice and fast, and it'll allow me to sort of speed things up a little bit. So once I get those all in place, then I'll be ready for laying down the tissue and doing the doping and getting that part ready. Having glued the wing in place, I then removed it again because I believe the wing should be separate. It should be all in one piece while you're putting the tissue on, and then fit it on afterwards. I'm actually wondering whether I could have some sort of release, like a rubber band or something, just holding it all in place once it's in place here. I've got a couple of these F2s that run through here as well. Put those in place. The curved section here under the fuselage takes the top of the wing, and it all just buttons up, sort of sits there nice and flush. See how it goes onto that middle, the middle one. It's actually F1. It just sits on there nicely, and that's how it's going to end up when it's fixed in place. So that's my progress at the moment. It was actually about 2 steps forward and 3 steps back almost there for a little bit. But I'm happy with the progress. It's just something that I'm using to just while away some of my weekend hours. I just feel like doing something rather than just sitting around doing nothing. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's coming along quite nicely. And once I get a little notching tool to finish off these spar sections here, I'll give you another update on the progress. So here's what it's going to look like when it's all finished. Awesome little plane. So that's why I want to take my time and not ruin the model, and make it as neat and as authentic to the actual original plans as I can. So any advice I would give to people doing this if they haven't done models for quite a while? Take your time. Maybe fit a few times before you do your gluing, and just look very carefully, especially where some of the labels go. They're actually hidden on the plan itself in places, and they do take a little bit of picking up. So thank you for stopping by and looking at the progress of the little Spitfire, and I hope if you're doing some modelling yourself that everything's going to plan for you. I'll see you in the next one.